Hi, Carol.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fan freaking tastic. Fan freaking tastic.
Is this sarcasm?
No,
Okay.
I'm so good because do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is?
Is it?
That's a front.
Yes,
Do
it
you know what,
is.
do you know what I filmed this morning? Lesson 5. Lesson 5.
Triumph.
You know what this is? This is the back.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm ready
Uh-huh.
for lesson 6. I'm ready. The only reason it's not like started is because I had to get the patterns up for today, which I was like, ah. So I have filmed lesson 5. Now I have to edit the lesson. So I haven't even checked. Hopefully it recorded and the sound is there. If it's not, I'm just gonna cry. Just gonna
I
cry.
understand.
It's all right though. Um so I'm doing really good. Like I hope to have this done today. Like it should be
Yeah.
this portion should be complete, but remember I've got to make sleeves still, so I've got to make sleeves to add on to this. But that's going to be putting a pin in it. I got to walk away from this for a little bit and get some things done for Jolly Holiday. But I'm good. I stayed up late to finish it, listening to the book. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm
Okay.
good.
So very exciting things happened yesterday.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me, Goose. Hi, everybody, by the way. Look at how pretty it is. Look how pretty. Okay, I got to go get a link so that way I can share with people.
They are in. I have
They
them
are
in real life. Feels very exciting.
Moly.
So I'm very excited they're here. So I put them all in their boxes yesterday.
Okay.
Because you can't just like throw that in a poly mailer. It will not survive the postal system.
Right.
So that is in. And this morning, because you were like, give me an extra 20 minutes, I was like, perfect. I was able to get, I was like, perfect, I can take photos. I took photos of like the actual planner. And because I am a very lucky human being, Michelle is here today. And I was like, can you do me a favor? And she's like, of course, what do you need? I was like, can you make me Granny Square? She was like, yeah. I was like, thanks.
Well, that's like, so this morning when I was trying to choose what pattern should be live today, I was like, okay, I'm going to do blankets today. I'm going to do blankets. So, I don't have that many knit blankets, right?
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to do the Anne Tarja Dream and Tarja knit blanket. The one that you see is back there.
Yeah, the triangle.
That one. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that one. And then I have a crochet version, which is corner to corner, but it's not triangles. It's just a bunch of blocks.
Yeah.
Like random. And it's really pretty. It's what you got to keep your head in the game when you're doing it, because you have to pay attention to the chart, all the things, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. So I pull up the crochet blanket. I have a PDF. Everything's great. Sweet. Pull up the page, put the PDF in. Awesome. Call Robin, talking to Robin, and I'm doing the same thing for the knit version. There's no PDF. There's no PDF. Not only is there no PDF, like it's free on the website, but there's no PDF that I've done. I also don't know where any of the pictures are so hold on. So I couldn't find any of the pictures. I'm like, where are the pictures? Like I'm searching Anne Burke, I'm searching Intarsia, I'm searching Dream Blanket, I'm searching Chic Sheep, I'm searching Lindsay, I'm searching all the things, right? No pictures.
Oh, they searched Lindsay.
Well, because you were there.
I was there. I know. Yes.
So I was like, and then I go, oh, I think I took pictures with my phone. So I got on my phone. I went all the way back to September 2017 and I found pictures. So I selected them all, popped them all into PicMonkey so that Robin had those. And then because I look hot today, I went and took pictures of me with the blanket, which by the way, posing with the blanket. How do you do it? How do you do that? Don't know.
I got nothing.
I have no idea. So I look like a fool, but I also put it up on my ladder thing that I have so you could kind of see all the stuff. And then I filmed a reel. I did a reel. So I put those pictures in. Robin was doing the PDF in actual Canva. So now I can actually sell it too. So it's like the real deal PDF. Posted the reel, just added all the links to the ManyChat so that when people comment, they can get the links. Now I have to write the pattern write the email and put all the socials. I have already had a full day. I've already had a full day of work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've had.
So fun story about that blanket.
Yes.
that blanket, and it was right when you were launching Chic Sheep
Yes.
with Bret Hart. And Ann and I were both there at the same time. And then we were all going to Stitches, Texas.
I'm gonna go like this. Yeah.
And
You guys can see the blanket now.
yeah.
There.
And do you remember the day that you were like, oh, I have to take this sample to Interweave? That was when you had to design things for magazines.
I have that picture too. I have you in that scarf.
And I knit the scarf for you because I don't know if you guys know this, but Marley and I are Gage twinsies.
Gauge.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like you said gauge. And I was like, just want to make it clear.
Here's the beautiful part of that. If Marley writes a pattern and it says size 7, I know I need a size 7. I don't have to make a gauge swatch. Oh, I remember actually putting it on.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right after you finished it.
Because it was so much knitting. God, it was so much.
And then
also that scarf is the best.
That's the note.
That's the note. So Marley and Ann and I had all been up really super late, not what does it say? Hey,
it says
good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, beautiful. And on I think on the inside
the inside it says you needed sleep.
Oh, there it is. I have it.
Don't call the cops.
Yeah, it says, Marley, we got the boys off to school on time, mostly. Then we headed up to Interweave to turn in the scarf. You need to sleep. We were up, and this means you can have an hour to get something else checked off of your interminable list. No complaints. We love you. I left at 8, took your car. Please don't call the cops. Lindsay and Ann. That's what it says.
Yeah, I took her car because I knew where her keys were. But here's the thing that you don't know is that morning when Ann and I woke up, Ann and I were just kind of laying in bed having a conversation. And then I heard something and I was like, are the kids still here? And Ann's like, surely not. Right. So I fling the door open and there is Joey just scrolling on his phone because we kicked him out of his room and he was laying on the couch.
Right.
Sorry, Joey. And then I'm like, Joey, go. Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I'm like, school starts in 7 minutes. Get it out. Let's go. Come on. And he was like, what?
And I was great mom, Lindsay. Great mom.
And then literally I just one knocked on Caden's door and I was like, please God, do not let this child be naked. And I flung the door open. It was almost one motion. I knocked and flung the door open and I was like, Caden, school starts in 7 minutes. You got to go.
I say that
and he was like, and he's still scrolling his phone and his immediate, you can tell his eyes dart to the clock and he goes, shit. Right. And so I'm downstairs grabbing book bags. What do y'all need? I'm just arms out with bags. I'm like, get out the house.
Let's be clear. Ann, Lindsay, and myself, we stayed up super duper late because I had to finish this project for Interweave before we could go to Texas. It was a mess.
It was a hot mess.
I just was tired.
And the kids normally get themselves off to school. That was their routine.
Because guys, they had
done it the entire time we had been there.
You walked out my front door, you walk across a soccer field, you're at the school. You don't even have to cross a street or a sidewalk.
I will tell you, I watched them walk to school. I did. I watched it. But I will tell you that I was they were just sauntering and I was like, you best run, son. And they did. They did. They'd also gotten too many tardies. They were going to get Saturday school.
Well, I remember the vice principal called me once. He was like, hi, Miss Bird. And I said, hi, I'm calling about the kids and there's tardies. I'm like, yep, I don't know what to tell you. I do at some point, this sounds bad. I'm not going to baby them. They know they have to be at school. They know there are consequences if they are not at school on time. Yeah. That's where it is. I don't have to drive them to school. They literally walk out the front door and there's the school. And he was like, I know you guys quite literally are the closest family that lives to the school and they're late every day. Every day.
And but when I tell you, that was the other thing is that when Ann and I came upstairs to go to bed that night, I looked over and there was a glow and Joey was scrolling his phone. I was like, it is 2 a.m. Go to bed. He's like, it's not 2 a.m. And I was like, we're done, son. And I just took his phone And I just put it on the night, like the table at the end of the, like his head was directly beside. I just took it away from him. Like I just put it on the table.
It's
He was probably asleep in 7 seconds.
I mean, it's been what, 7 years since then? 6 years? 8 years? I don't remember.
I don't know. Time is math. Day math is hard.
Right.
Don't ask me.
But
I don't know.
It's amazing how much all of that is still relevant today. To this day, I'll knock on Caden's door and pray to please don't be naked. Please don't be naked.
Well, because like I didn't know
he's a man now.
Because look, I didn't know what noise I had heard. Like, was it Caden getting out of the shower? Was it Joey getting out of the shower?
I hear you.
You know, and like I don't want to embarrass your kids.
Rightly so. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I forgot to tell you this. I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. Okay, we're squirrel. Everybody squirrel. Okay. So you know how the other day I told you we went to the football game. Then we came home and Caden spent the night Saturday night. So it was Saturday night going into Sunday. I probably forgot because that was the Sunday night call that we had. Yeah. So Sunday night going into Sunday. So I am in my bathroom, which is attached to my room. Yeah. I'm in my bathroom. Laura's in there, and I'm like, I gotta get this bra off, right? I'm just like, I can't wait. Gotta get this bra off. So I take my shirt off. I take my bra off. I'm talking to Laura, and I walk into my room. Caden goes, "Oh my God, Mom! Oh my God!" He got
what child.
He was in my room talking to John. I didn't hear him though. I didn't know he was in there. And so I was like, huh? And I turned like this. He's like, ah! And I was like, well, it's your own damn fault. You're in my room. And John goes, what are you worried about? You used to drink out of those. I was like, Katie goes, my eyes. So I quickly grabbed my shirt, put on my shirt. I was like, well, it's your own fault, dude. It's your own fault.
Like seriously, when I went, because like I didn't know if it was Caden getting out of the shower. I don't want to just like fling his door open and then he'll be like, Lindsay.
Because it can happen.
Because like, right? And so like, but like he was just like laying in bed. I was like, how long have you been awake? He's like 2 hours. I was like, that's a goal. And so like, so then Ann and I went downstairs. Ann's having a cup of coffee. I'm having something to eat. Like we made ourselves breakfast. And like we're both kind of thinking it, but we didn't want to say it to each other that we should just take your car. Because like that is technically stealing.
It is technically stealing.
And you had a nice car. You have a nice car. And so it was very nice. And I was like, I mean, we have Google. We can get there. I was like, I think Marlon needs to sleep. And Anna was like, absolutely, we're not waking her up. Let's take the car. Like, as soon as I suggested it, Anna was like, I'm in 100%. Let's steal the car. I was like, we're stealing the car.
I mean, it's so, my friends are absolutely the best because all of you look out for me more than I look out for me. All of you.
Yeah, like, you have to.
Yeah, because like if I
in the same way that you look out for me in ways I don't look out for me,
right? Yeah,
I know that you'll wear yourself into the ground. I know that you know that about me, but like I can see it in you, but I can't see it in me.
Right.
So, like it's a blind spot. But like my favorite was that like I wrote that note and I was like, and I like tiptoed into your room because I was like, where can I put this where I know she'll see it? Because you had said, oh, my phone, like at the time your phone was having a weird thing and it didn't always charge. And so I was like, what if she doesn't get the message and she goes to like panic and go out the door and her car is not here. I do not want the cops in Denver to pull me over and be like, you stole Marley Bird's car. I'm like, I swear I'm her best friend. I swear. Like I could just see that happening. And then that's a whole story. So I was like, please don't call the cops. So I was like, where can I put this where I know she'll find it? And I was like, I know she has to put on makeup today because she's going to film. And I knew where you put your makeup on. So I was like, what is eye level? Right there. Like, yeah. And then I like tiptoed out of your room and I was like, God, don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up. Don't wake up.
I sleep like a rock. So you would have been good.
Oh, I know now I know that. But at the time I didn't. And so, and Ann is just like going to town on that blanket. She's just like, go. And so then there's teeny, you know how teeny Ann is, right? You know, that huge, it was like a land yacht of a car. And so she's sitting crisscross in the front seat, just knitting away.
That's
and
so
I'm like with all the colors and the butterflies and the things. And I'm like, this is insane. And so then but then we got lost. Did I tell you that we got lost?
No, I didn't know you got lost.
We got so lost.
We was like in this weird, like industrial area.
We could not find it because like Google took us somewhere and I'm like, this ain't it. This ain't it, Ann. And she's like, it's not. I'm like, how do we find this place? Like, do you know? Because Ann's a designer. I'm like, do you have Interweave's phone number? And she's like, no, I don't. So you know what we did? I dug through my phone because that was before I had Joe's phone number.
Okay.
I dug through my phone and found Jolene's phone number.
Nice.
And I called Jolene and I was like, here's the thing. I know you're at work. I'm sorry, but I need you right now. She's like, what is happening? I was like, I left Marley at home because she hasn't slept. And she said, good. I'm proud
I was going to say, she's another friend who would have been like, that was good.
I was like, and then I was like, but I stole her car and now I'm lost in Denver.
Oh my gosh.
She goes, why? Where are you? I'm like, I'm trying to get to Interweave. This is where I'm at. And she goes, hang on. And then literally Joe does her magic that is Jolene. And then she reads me directions and just writes them down. And we drove right there.
That is awesome. I love this story. I love this story.
Like when I tell you we were lost, like we ran the entire tank of gas out of your car.
Oh my gosh.
We were so lost. And then I got home and I was like, and we got to get gas. And she's like, okay. So I pull over and get gas. And I was like, don't tell Marley. I was like, I don't want her to know that we got lost because I don't want her to panic.
Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. You guys are I have the best friends.
But like literally I called Jolene. I'm like, look, I left Marley at home. I'm trying to turn this thing for Interweave, but I stole her car and now I'm lost. And she was like, where do you need to go? It was just like, you know, that's the friend who's like, you call her and you're like, I need you to just do something.
She's
and not
like, I got the shovel. Yeah, where are we going? That's totally Jolene. That's totally Jolene. Absolutely. She's
and like I laughed. I'm like, and I are, and this is before like you could connect it in your car, so like it's on speakerphone, right? And so like Ann and I are just cackling about the fact that like this is an all-in-one night movie, but for knitters.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The stories we have.
Like it was. Oh my god! And it's still to this day one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite adventures because. And it's like, I'm like, do you know where we're going? She's like, no. And she just does not care. And it's just knitting across this blanket at speed. She's like, I've got to get this blanket done. I've got to get this blanket done. I've got to get this blanket done. I'm like, where am I going?
Oh my God. Ann told me that she wants to come out here next year. And I'm like, I would love, John was so cute. He was like, you could really use that. And I was like, I absolutely could use some Ann Burke time. Cause like I used to get it, 4 times a year. Yeah. And I know that sounds ridiculous, you guys, but Ann Burke is one of those people. She's like a balm to my soul. She is she's just,
I don't know how to describe it.
I can't just, she's remarkable. I
remarkable human
love everything about her. And she listens to me. She understands, and she understands at a different level because she understands as a very successful woman, then as a designer and as a mom and like all the things. I just love Ann so very much. Her and her husband, Bill. I love Bill.
I've never met Bill, but I imagine he's great.
I love Bill. John and I love Ann and Bill. Like we've talked about wanting to see them when we go back to Seattle next time. We tried to see them this time, but Ann was going on a retreat with some of her other friends. And so we couldn't see them the last time we were there. But anyways, so the Ann Burke blanket, which is the dream blanket, because she called it the dream blanket. And the reason she made it, there was a picture I saw of a quilted blanket like this. And I was like, that is so beautiful. I wonder if we could use all of the colors of my Chic Sheep line and make something like that. So I showed it to Ann and she was like, yep. And so,
I mean, I was there for that. She goes, she literally went, I can do that.
Yeah. That's literally how it went. And so if you go to the website where you'll see pictures of them pulling out the yarn to get the right yarn amount.
Yeah.
The butterflies.
I remember measuring it because we figured out how long it was. Yes. And then I measured it on your table.
Yep. Yeah. It was quite the production. It was amazing. It was really
like great. Also I learned so much from Ann Burke that trip.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That's when we really learned how to do Intarsia.
Yeah. Remember? And like, here's a fun story. So years later, I was helping. So one of my dearest friends owns my LYS. Okay. Deb is again, a balm to my soul. She is one of those people that I can't explain it. She's just, I love her with my whole body. Like she's just the best. And her daughter at the time was in high school. So this is years ago. Okay. And her daughter was getting an award and she didn't have any help at this shop. And she was like, well, I'll have to miss it because there's no one to keep the shop open. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Get in your car I will do this. And she
Uh-huh.
was like, I was like, look, I worked here years ago. Have you changed the point of sale? She's like, no. I'm like, then I'm fine. Goodbye. Get out. And then like it just became a thing that I went and helped her like every so often. And so one day I was there and there was a lady who she had inherited I think it was her grandmother's stash, and in it was a bunch of unfinished stockings. They were all Intarsia stockings. And they were all made to a certain point, but she did not feel comfortable doing Intarsia on her own. She felt it was too advanced for her. And
which newsflat, it is
it's
not.
It's not. It's not at all.
So it is not.
Not even a little bit.
No,
it looks super scary. It's not. It's really not
at all.
Not at all. I was so intimidated before Anne, and then there was Anne,
and then there was Anne,
and she's making the stock, and it's flat. And I remember going, why are you knitting this flat? And she goes, oh, you can't knit Intarsia in the round. And I was like, oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
She was like, what? I was like, you can. And like, when I tell you this pattern was so old, like she had blown it up and it was so grainy. We weren't sure on the pattern of what color went where. Like we were guessing on some of it because it was such an old pattern. It was beautiful. I mean, these were beautiful, beautiful. But so she was finishing one. She's like, well, now like these are for my kids and I want to like make sure everybody has one with their name on it. Like I want to, and she goes, so you said you could do this in the round. Like that's gotta be easier. And I was like, it is. And she was like, and now this is a person who came in and like paid for private time.
Yes.
So, like this wasn't like she just came in and a demanded time. Like she paid for this like a session.
Yeah.
And I remember Deb was like, can you do Intarsia? I was like, sure can.
Yes, I can.
I have an Anne Burke.
I learned from Miss
Intarsia herself. And so I was helping her and she was like, this is so helpful. And I was like, yes, if you want to learn how to do it in the round, you need the book Intarsia Knits. And that's by a friend of mine, Anne Burke. She has video content. I said, it's really good. I said, but if you have questions, old over new. Old over new. I still say that to myself every time I change. Old over new, old over new, old over new.
Mm-hmm.
And so she came back later with the pattern and she's like, I want to try it in the round. I'm like, girl, let's get it. And she did. And she was like, where has this been my whole life? I was like, you just need somebody who thinks outside the box. Her name's Anne. She's great. And she did. She bought Anne's book and everything. It was fantastic. Like
Anne's book is really great.
My favorite was that Deb went, wait, where did you learn that? And I was like, Anne Burke. And she was like, I got to meet her. I was like, yeah, you do. She's the best.
Yeah.
So it is like, if you like, seriously, guys, if you are intimidated by Intarsia, please don't be. It's not as bad as you think it is.
And on that same trip, that's when Anne did the Intarsia lessons for me on YouTube. So those are the Intarsia lessons we link to and everything.
Yeah, because it's great. They're wonderful.
Why would I change that? So that blanket, the other blanket is a crochet one. Like I said,
corner to corner.
You can click on that. Yeah, it's a corner to corner. It's baby blanket size. Like I didn't make a full size because I was like, I don't want a full size. So there's that. And then the holiday armadillo today is 50% off the turkey trot from 2022. So if you remember, that one was not like, it wasn't split up to there's a crochet one and a knit one. They were all together in one lesson. And it was for the cowl that was like a bandana cowl. Yeah. So it had the color work on it. It's really pretty. And there's a Tunisian
version.
Right? Isn't there Tunisian?
I thought it was Tunisian.
I think there's a Tunisian version too. So it's crochet, like regular crochet, Tunisian crochet, and knitting all in that. So I put a link to that. I put a link to the funnel page so that way you could see everything that it says it's in it. But then check out, just use the 50 off and it should work. Like if it does not work, let me know, but it should work.
So Elise, when it comes to, it's not the actual technique, it's the ends. Anne Burke has a solution for that too. I only bury my ends the way Anne buries her ends. It's the only way I will weave in an end now. Like, can I tell you the number of people I have converted? I'm like, this is the way. This is the way.
It's the best. I just did it.
Burying ends with Anne Burke. It's the only thing you need to know.
Dude, these are so good. These are so
I know, I'm very jealous, okay?
They're so good.
Well, because like, look, yesterday, so on Tuesdays, I'm very blessed. I've told you that, but I'm very blessed. On Tuesdays, Michelle brings a crock pot with something delicious for lunch. We don't have to do lunch on Tuesdays because she brings lunch on Tuesdays, which I am very infinitely grateful for. And yesterday we had chicken noodle soup, which was delicious. And then Angie was like, I want some pretzels. And Angie is a person who just always travels with snacks, which I deeply appreciate. And so she just brought like her whole bag of pretzels. And we were just like chowing. I was like, why are pretzels so effing good? Like,
pretzels are delicious.
They're so good.
They're so delicious.
But like I haven't thought about pretzels in years, but then you've been eating pretzels, and then Angie had pretzels. Like, can I have some pretzels?
Yeah, so, they're good. I like pretzels and mustard. And not just like yellow mustard, like good
like spicy mustard, like brown mustard.
Yeah. I think it's good. I have carried snacks. I carry snacks with me all the time ever since the kids were younger because Caden gets very hangry.
Does he?
He's a hangry bird. Oh yeah.
He's a hangry bird.
He's a hangry bird to the point that there have been times now as he's older, he recognizes it. And like this happened not too long ago. We were having a discussion and it's like he took it up a notch that it didn't need to be at that level. And I was like, why are you yelling at? What are you doing? And he just paused. He goes, I'm sorry, Mom. I haven't eaten all day and I know I need to go eat. I'll go eat and I'll call you back. And I was like, yes.
Look, being self-aware like that is a very large sign of maturity.
It took a long time for him to, and even still, there are days when I'm like, you really need to go eat. BERK. Yeah. Oh
my God, there's a restaurant near Mindy that does a pizza pan soft pretzel.
Oh, that sounds good.
That sounds amazing.
At Old Chicago in Colorado, it's not very good anymore. But when I was there, they had a pretzel, like was one of the appetizers, and it was it was so good. I loved it. It was just delicious.
We have an Old Chicago here, and it's.
Do you? They've changed their menu since we moved here like 5 years ago.
Now that I think about it, I don't know. There's no. I think a Cheddar's went in there.
Really? So the one that we had here in Indiana was up north near Chicago, and so whenever we would travel to Chicago, we would stop there and eat, and they closed. And then when I was in Colorado last time, we went there and ate, and it just was not good. It's when I was there this summer with Caden, and it was bad. It was not good at all.
I will always have fond memories of Old Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because Kate, you're on your own.
Yep.
That is my favorite Caden memory. That is my favorite Caden memory.
Best. Caden has there's so many Caden things that happen.
Like when he looked at that man and was like, you are on your own, and like bolted. I will never, because then he like peered around and he was like,
it's funny because he likes
at me, and I was like, yeah, you're good. And he was just like, he kind of,
he likes to like mess around with me, and he'll say things that he knows I'm completely against. You know, he's like, well, yeah, she should be in the kitchen cooking. And he'll look at me and I'm like, shut up, just shut up.
You're just being a brat.
Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, he's a great kid.
I will never forget. You're on your own. And
right. Yep. Absolutely.
Great.
It's awesome. Anyway, so that was my night. Oh, and then so I started book 8. I told you guys I was starting book 8. I started book 8 and I am sobbing for like 35 minutes. I even text
I was in my car and I opened my phone and I was like, Marley is crying.
It's a video text.
Right, it's a video chat. It's a video text. And I opened my phone. I'm in my car, and Dave was with me, and I was like, "Oh my God, something's wrong. Marley's crying," because I could see it from the thing. I could see her face was red. And I hit play, and I hear the book in the background. I was like, "Nope, this is not a thing for the car." Like if it was the kids or John, like I want to know right now.
Yeah.
But if it was a book, I was like, I can wait until I get home. I don't have to pull over.
Yeah.
I was at a stoplight. I'm not checking my phone. Like I was in a drive-through.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not checking my phone in the car. And so like Dave was like, "What?" And I was like, "It's her book." He goes, "How can you tell that fast?" And I was like,
well, you know what I'm reading. And then so I told you what had happened, and I'm just crying. And I mean, I don't know. This book, it's spicy. There's a lot of things going on and I am not looking at spoilers. Oh my gosh, can I tell you how hard it is to not look at
I can't even imagine how hard it is.
Oh my gosh. But I'm not looking at spoilers. I'm soaking it all in. That's probably why I was able to get the sweater done, is because I just didn't want to put the book down. But I'm really enjoying it. The last book, it took a turn. So good, bad, or worse. Like, I don't mind it. It doesn't matter to me. But like, you know how they have like MFM or MMF or like
Yeah, I
so.
don't under. Yeah,
So it's like if there's a three-way or whatever, it's like, is it male, female, male, 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 female, like it goes like that. So
yeah,
there's it just
yeah. So
I like the story. I like the story.
good, good. So I
Yeah.
told you that I was going to give it like I had 2 hours in my book
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to know that I think I have like 6 minutes left because like I was so busy yesterday. I didn't listen to it until I went to pack the planners
Mm-hmm.
and like driving to get them in and then packing the planners. And so let me see. I think it's probably like,
Cool.
if I have anything, it's like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's 15 minutes. I have 15 minutes left. They, I'm, you know what?
Look how cute she is.
She's so adorable.
That was the blanket in its infancy.
It's infancy. The like the queen, the bad guy, has like lost her whole mind. She's unhinged. Everyone knows she's unhinged. She's trying to kill the main characters. She's not even hiding it. Like there's no way you can like, there's no way you can just like, she's definitely like out to get them. And she even tells them that.
Merrily started dark
Merrily.
day. Hang on to your boots. I hope you like it.
And then like the thing that she's afraid of, as most things do, when you try to avoid your demise, you create it, right? Like is the game here. Okay. So that's what happens. She tries to thwart them so that they die, and then it triggers this thing that's like a big deal. And so then she's like, I'm gonna attack you guys. And so I'm like, here it is. Here's the showdown. Walked right by that opportunity. Walked right by it. Just right by it. Like the queen has the female main character by the throat. Fingernails in the throat. Like,
uh-huh.
And then the female main character does the thing that like the queen is terrified of, and like pushes her away, and she's down and she's hurt. What do you do in that situation? She is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
She is a mass murderer. She is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
She is the worst. She's down. She's got a broken back. What do?
You finish it.
You finish it.
You finish it.
No.
Finish her.
No. Just walked away. Just walked away.
You know what? That's like one of the best things about Sarah J. Maas. You know, she could have went in so many different directions in her last book, in all the books, right?
Oh, yeah.
But her last book, like, she did not hold back. Like,
No,
if a character needed to go, they went. And if it needed to fight, she fought. And like it.
And like
that, I think one of the best, well-written ends of a series that, I mean, I finished it and I was like in a book funk for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was so good. What is this? Shelly says, okay.
Yeah, she's reading Lauren Blake. This is my favorite holiday. This is what I am downloading next.
Okay.
Like, I'd already decided.
All right. So Shelly is doing the My Favorite Holiday. Oh my God. It's delightful. BOLO for the office glitter bomb. BOLO. BOLO for the office glitter bomb. Laughing my FAO. What's BOLO?
I don't know. I'm Googling it.
Okay.
I'm not hip.
I'm not that hip. I love it. I love it though.
Be on the lookout. Bolo. We knew that. That's a top term.
Is it?
Yeah. Like when you watch like a procedural drama, they're like, put out a bolo. It's be on the lookout.
No, I never knew that. I've heard YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah.
YOLO.
But so anyway, so they just like walked right by it because like the queen called her guards. Like, what?
No.
What?
No.
Really? And I'm like, that's we're just gonna walk right by it after we've had this whole thing about the prophecy and the queen has to die on a certain day and this whole prophecy thing. We're just gonna walk right by that. Just gonna like ignore it, just keep going.
Why would the author do that? Just to try and continue the story?
I don't know. And like, she's like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It's very it is advertised as a spicy book.
Uh-huh.
It's very closed door. There is mention, but not like you and I are used to it being mentioned.
Okay.
Right? Like there's no like description of parts, if that is giving you an idea of what I'm talking about. So it's
No
not
rooster?
completely closed door, it's like cracked door. Okay. And
they want to know what book you're talking about.
So I'm talking about, the first one is called Tethered, the second one is called Tormented, and I don't know what the third one's called, and honestly, I'm not going to read it. And I really liked the first book. I thought the first book had good pacing. I thought it was done well. So I was very excited about the second book, and the pacing is just not there. And like literally everything happens in the last literally 30 minutes. And it feels very YA because like she mentioned something in book one, and then something happens in book one. You're like, okay, that's definitely going to be mentioned in book two because that's the progression of the story. No, we're still fighting that. We're still like, what's going to happen? Where's this thing? And I'm like, this feels very YA trilogy instead of like adult trilogy, because most people have read enough to know what's coming. Like it's not a surprise. So like the anticipation, the building of anticipation there isn't building toward anything that's helpful for the plot or the development of the plot or the development of the characters. It's just drawing it out for no reason. And so like, I feel like it's a YA book because that would have been like a wow moment when I was younger. Now that I've read as much as I have, that's not a moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do I think it's bad writing? No. Do I think that it's just in the wrong category? Probably. Jenny, I think it might, I still think it should probably be 3 books. I think that it's just, I understand why it's labeled for mature audiences. I understand that. I just think that with what high schoolers are reading nowadays, this is not on that list. Okay. And it could be.
I just want to give a heads up. I'm trying to post stuff to Facebook and it's not letting me. So just letting you know.
Okay.
I'm just letting Facebook know.
So anyway, so that's the thing. So I'm going to finish this 15 minutes. Now they're going to be on the run. I'm just, no.
I could see that.
And it's just because like it's building towards something that I already know, but they're not revealing that build, and they're waiting, and I don't know why. And it doesn't make sense as a plot device. As a person who's done a lot of reading, and also like I have a degree in literature, this build doesn't make sense. Like you've already revealed a good bit, so it makes sense to reveal it at the end of book 2 if you're going to wait and not wait till book 3. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying my reread.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm so happy that I'm on the last 3 books. I mean, by no means does that mean I'm near the end because they are very, very long.
Yeah, they're like 34, 35 hours each.
Yeah, each. They're super long. But I'm loving it. It's really good. So, lost my train of thought. Hold on, it'll come back. It'll come back to me.
I understand.
I don't know. I just got really lightheaded all of a sudden. I'm gonna take my medicine real quick. Not that that's gonna help, but I'm just gonna take.
Yeah, but also if that's a reminder to take your medicine, then that's good.
Yeah,
for sure. Halloween Mischief. I agree. I agree 100% on Lights Out. I did not expect to enjoy that book at the level that I enjoyed that book. It was, again, it's a dark comedy, but it is so funny.
That's awesome.
It's funny in like a very like, oh, okay, kind of way. So, but like it is definitely, I would say of the year, I don't know that I would say top 5, but it's definitely in my top 20. But that's because I read a series that I was so deeply in love with that was like 18 books. So I can't. So there you go.
What?
So like I read that book series that I told you about, The Broken Kingdoms.
Yes.
So that was 9. And then the new series, the spinoff series, The Ever King is 2. So that's 11. And then the newest one came out, that's 13. So like I can't say that
Got you.
Lights Out is in my top 5, but I would say it's in my top 20.
Got you.
Because
So
I really enjoyed The Broken Kingdoms. Like I couldn't put it down.
yeah. Have you heard of this book? I bet you've heard of it and probably haven't read it yet. Hold on. I'm scrolling through my Amazon, or not my Amazon, my Audible.
Your Audible. Your
Yeah.
TBR Mountain.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's unhinged.
It's unhinged. That's the perfect word.
Unhinged.
It is unhinged.
Unhinged.
I mean, I am on page 4 and I have not found the book I'm looking for.
Cool.
Here it is. Quicksilver.
It's on my TBR.
It is all over the place. I heard it was just picked up for either a movie or TV series. People are so excited about it. It says the Fae and Alchemy series. And so it is on, I think that will be my next book after I finish these, because I'll need a break from that world a little bit, I think, before I jump into
I haven't heard anything bad about Quicksilver. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Book Talk.
It's all over the place. So I bought it.
The author is Callie. I hope I'm saying that Callie. Callie Hart.
Callie Hart.
It is 20 hours long. It's a significant book. The other book that I've seen, let me see if I can find it, that I'm it's on my TBR. Give me a second. It's gonna take a minute. It's a completed series. It's by Jasmine Walt called Promised in Fire of Dragons and Fae. It's a finished series. And I've heard that if you like Fourth Wing, you'll like this.
Oh, I love Fourth Wing. All right, Promise in Fire, Jasmine.
And it's a completed series of Dragons and Fae.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do wish list. I'm gonna put it on wish list. I just can't. I bought so many books.
So I was really excited because I get 24 credits on the 27th.
Oh, mine just renewed.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you know anything about this Villains and Virtues series?
Oh, is that Assistant to the Villain?
No, it just says Villains and Virtues series.
Villains and Virtues. Hang on. Googling now.
Thrown in the Dark, Summoned to the Wilds, Eclipse of the Crown, Bound and Tied. I mean, the covers look cheesy. I know you're not supposed to choose a book on its cover.
Look, I wouldn't have read Throne of Glass based on its cover, and I freaking love that series.
I almost didn't read Discover of Witches because of the cover. It sounds stupid. It's so lame.
Look, that's how we're built. This looks actually, I don't think these covers look terrible. I have read way worse covers.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how good they are.
Okay, what is it? Oh, wait. Are these retellings of like, wait. Is this a retelling of like a fairy? Is this a dark fairy tale?
I don't know.
Dark Lord Demon Spawn prophesied Realm Destroyer with a demon for a father. Damian Maleficus, Bloodthorn's destiny could be nothing but nefarious. And with the completion of his most vicious spell, Damon's on the cusp of fulfilling an evil inevitability of all the dark machinations have led to. Wow, we're already at a like SAT level vocabulary. I'm a fan. And then her, bubbly, obnoxious blonde. Harboring secrets of her own, a tiny yet troublesome thief calling herself Amma, completely upsets Damien's malevolent plans when she mistakenly gets chained to his side through magic, forcing him to drag her across the realm. Killing her would fix things, of course, but the nauseatingly sweet Amma proves herself useful on Damien's unholy crusade that proves herself the source of something even more sinister: feelings. When Damien is forced to abandon his villainous birthright to help the tender thorn in his side, or will he manage to overcome the virtue Amma insists on inspiring and instead cut it out at the heart? That looks pretty good.
I just added it to my wish list to be like, okay.
Going in TBR Mountain.
Right. It's a good question. Assistant to the Villain. I have seen that all over the place. I haven't bought it. I haven't read it. I haven't anything.
It's on my wish. It's in TBR Mountain.
In
TBR Mountain.
Not feelings. It's funny.
Yeah, it's in my TBR. Yeah, it's in my TBR. It looks super cute, but I haven't bought it yet. Because the second one just recently came out, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
The second one came out, Apprentice to the Villain. And like it's kind of like a different, it's like a, I don't want to say dystopic world, but like everyone knows they're villains and you can work for a villain. Like that's not unusual, is the concept. So I thought that was kind of fun. So also just like the idea that like, what is it like to work for a villain? You know, like that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have so many things on my TBR.
Okay. So I don't know if everybody knows this. Yeah. I'm swinging back to knitting and crochet real quick.
Go ahead.
We Crochet is having like this huge Black Friday sale, but it's now
holiday sale.
They're calling it a Black Friday.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me show you. Black Friday is back. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says Black Friday is back, 25% off site-wide sale. So I'm the Mighty Stitch. I don't think I have any patterns with Mighty Stitch, but I wanted to show you guys this. I just put my affiliate link in the comments because if you're looking to get some yarn for either the turkey trot, if like you're going to get the bonus turkey trot today, like we use the yarn from there. Like, and it's, what yarn did we use? We used recycled alpaca. Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
Hold on. Upcycle. I'm just going to be honest. I really hate their new website. Sorry, We Crochet. I think you have totally done yourself a disservice.
It's hard to find things.
It's so hard to find
under things. Yarn. I don't like under yarn. I wish it said like
you click on yarn and this is what happens. It pops up to this. Right.
Yeah, so I really wish it was like worsted fingering, like
right. Like
that's how I shop.
What do I care? So if I have to go to view all, now I have to look at everything, which it makes me have to filter again if I want to do that, right? Like so I could click alpaca and then do I hit close? What do I do?
I think you hit close.
Okay. So here I am. I mean, I don't know. I am not a fan. I muddle through it. But not that they're listening to me, but I'm letting you know I'm not a fan. Okay, so they don't have it here anymore. They must have sold out of it. The upcycle alpaca.
Can I tell you how much I love Swish, though?
Girl, Swish is so much like Chic Sheep. It's really good. You know what else I like? This stuff here, this Yakish. I got some of this. Yeah. I love it. I got some of this Oceana. I love it.
Okay.
You know I love City Tweed. Like
I know you love City Tweed.
I love City Tweed. I'm gonna clear this. I love Brava and Brava Tweed. Like I used that for first fall, and it was really the first time I'd used it. I really, really like it. I mean,
they came out with a Brava stripe. How did I miss that?
I don't know. I missed that too. I like the wool of the Andes. I have not used animation. I like the Stroll Tweed. I like Swish. I like wool of the Andes bulky. I have a piece in that. You know, we love Comfy. I haven't used Mighty Stitch. I've done things with Chroma. I like it. City Tweed. I like. I've never used this. I love Heatherly Worsted. Here's another Chroma. This stuff is really nice when it comes to just cotton. Like if you're in a warm area and you want to only use cotton, this stuff is really nice. Here's Swish DK if you're looking to not have as much bulk. Obviously another wool of the Andes superwash, which is really nice. The Cotton, I like that a lot. I think it's really nice. I really like Stroll. It's a very, very thin fingering yarn for like socks and stuff. It's very thin, but it's really pretty. It's nice to work with. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about any of these. Like I'm just scrolling through. I would absolutely buy any of these. I love the idea of getting one of these and holding it with like one of these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think I would knit that on its own just because it's not my style, but I would hold one with the other. I love it. I love this stuff. Love this stuff. My Hamilton cardigan, I'm pretty sure this is what I made that out of back in the day. I'm passing all the Lion Brand stuff, guys, because I honestly hadn't used Lion Brand in years.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know. It's just good yarn.
Yeah.
It's just good yarn. So if you're ever looking for a place to buy online and you're a Twill, guys, I love Twill. I love twill.
Isn't twill what we did for Besties Volume 1?
Yes, we did
Is it
twill fingering. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Twill fingering. I love Galileo. I mean, it's just good stuff. And now they're selling Barocco because they own Barocco. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The company that owns We Crochet and Knit Picks owns Barocco. So now they have Barocco on their site.
Can I tell you that Barocco Vintage is my go-to baby blanket yarn?
I like Barocco Vintage. It's good.
I love Barocco Vintage. I like that it comes in different weights. But Barocco Vintage worsted is whenever I was doing a baby blanket, that's because it wears like iron. You can wash it, you can dry it. It just lasts. It never looks bad. It doesn't pill. I love it.
That's awesome.
And
I like that.
They have tons of colors. Like, also, I'm not gonna lie to you. I made a beautiful like blanket scarf out of it. That thing looks great. It's been years.
Awesome. Okay, this stuff is calling my name. Like, I want to make myself a sweater out of this. I love that pink color. I am
so terrible at knitting with boucle yarn because I don't feel like I see my stitches well.
Oh, I don't. I would.
But I love the color palette.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this color. I'm like, I would so wear that. I would absolutely wear this color. I would wear all of these colors. My hard part about it is that I just don't know if people would actually buy this yarn to make a piece. So I have a hard time making things that I can't sell really afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
And then if they stop selling this yarn, what do I do then? You know, then I just have a random piece. So that's the hard part I have. Because you just never know. But I really like this yarn. I love a rainbow. You know, I love a rainbow.
You know, I love a rainbow.
I love a rainbow. And it's just really pretty. I love the lime fuzz color. I love all of it. I really
It is super fun.
I really do. My friend, oh my gosh, don't you hate it when your brain goes blank? Like absolutely blank. I can see her face. Ashley. My friend Ashley from Heart Hook Home. She designed I think a Tunisian sweater out of this.
Okay.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, I bet that would be gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really good. So I really like that stuff a lot. Like this, there's just some good, I love Chroma Twist. It reminds me of the old Crystal Palace yarn.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it reminds me of. Yeah. Yes.
It reminds me of Crystal Palace. Ultra Alpaca. Do you know Ultra Alpaca was the very first good yarn I ever bought at a yarn store?
Do you want to know what's really crazy?
What?
Same.
Really? Yeah. It's the first good yarn I bought at a yarn store. And I remember I was so scared to use it. I remember sitting down at the table at Knit-Knack at Stitch and Bitch. And I told them, I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm so afraid to use it. It's really expensive. And they're like, it's just yarn. You can rip it out if you don't like it. Like it's okay if you cut it. It's just yarn. And so yeah, that was my very first. So my very first can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Like are you on Ravelry now?
Oh, no. It still says We Crochet.
Okay. So here, let's go back here because I'm switching to Ravelry. I'm going to go find my very first pattern because I bought that yarn and then I went and I designed something. So one of my very first patterns is actually made with the very first like nice yarn that I ever bought. Hold on. And it's a super simple pattern. It's not hard. Maybe this should be one of the free patterns. I mean, it's just a basic stitch pattern repeat. It's kind of like a blanket scarf. Yeah. I called it a wrap, Alpaca Clouds wrap. There you go. I just put a link into the video description.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. Like you look back and you see all these things, right? So like this was it. So that's that's my sister. She was dancing. That's my sister's dance move. She was dancing. She's like, hey.
Well, I mean, hey, it got her moving.
I love it. That was it. It was like, let's get your pretty out. So like, I just wrapped her. I was like, I'm not sure how to wrap you up. This is somebody else made it in white. And it was just real pretty. So you can see here, like back 2008, that's when I bought it. This girl that's modeling, she was a young girl that worked at the yarn shop. So she had modeled it for me. Now she's married with kids. Like, it's wild. But you can see the white. It's just a really nice, comfortable wrap around. You feel really good. You can pin it with a shawl pin. Really super duper easy. It's just fun. But it's funny to me that, you can look back at things like that. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. So there you go, everybody. So if you're interested in buying stuff from crochet.com, please use my affiliate link. I will add it to the video description box too. Let me do that. We Crochet affiliate link. Does not cost you anything more, but it does let them know that I sent you, and then I make a portion of the sale. I think it's 15%. So
wow, that's nice.
It's a good chunk.
And then it doesn't cost us anything extra. That
doesn't cost you anything extra. Nope. And
it's why when I have to make a large purchase on Amazon, I will text you. Can you send me your Amazon link for this?
It's crazy because one of the only reasons I get a larger affiliate amount is because I send so many people there.
Right.
So you guys are helping me out. If you're going to buy anyways, please consider using my link. Like, don't go and buy, be like, oh, I got to help Marley. No, don't do that. But if you are buying, please use it. I appreciate that a lot. So yesterday's patterns, what were they? They were sweater patterns. People really got excited about those. I had a lot of downloads, which was great. I saw a lot of people were sharing the post as well. So that's good. That makes me happy.
That's great.
That makes me happy. Although I did get some nasty emails. One emailer, I'm not going to out her with who her name is, but she emailed, Chrissy sent, Chrissy has a Tuesday email, right? She sends an email every Tuesday, and it's like the conversations with Chrissy is what it is. And she just tells them what they're working on. And then she's like, hey, I'm working on this. I found these patterns on the website. Like, maybe you'd like these.
Sure.
So this person wrote, she was like, well, Marley, I guess you're doing it. You're given just useless patterns like everybody else, and blah, like just goes on and on. I was like, okay. So I didn't respond back because I was just like, well, one person's useless pattern is another person's treasure. So whatever. It's times like those that I just have to walk away because I'm not going to be nice, because she's trying to be mean to me, but she's being mean to Chrissy. Yeah. No, you don't be mean to my Chrissy.
We write it on.
So I walked away, and I planned on going back to respond, but Chrissy got it before I did. And she responded. She was very kind. She was like, hey, I'm just letting you know, this is my email. Marley actually doesn't have anything to do with it. I add patterns in there that I think everybody would like. Thanks for subscribing, but I'm just like, the audacity.
Here's what I will say.
What a shithead. I'm just going to throw it out there. What a shithead. That's why I can't respond back, everybody. Cause that's what you would big say. Middle finger from me.
Here's what I will say. Oftentimes when I get an email like that, and we all do, like, that is the nature of email marketing. This is expected. It's not like
you just get crap.
This is.
We get nice things too. I get
way more nice things.
I have my smile folder. I love the great. I get really good emails, but I was shocked by that one. I was like.
And like I remember like I got an email, and it was, I don't remember. It was for some live event that we were promoting. And despite the fact that like I have gone over, well, like I can't do a pre-order, like everyone's like, oh, well, everyone does pre-orders. Why don't you just do pre-orders? And it's like, I can have 300 skeins of yarn. I can dye those 300 skeins of yarn any color. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if I order 20 yards of fabric, that's all I've got.
That's all you get.
I can't order 50 yards of fabric because the other 30 might be something else. Like it's a finite thing. Mm-hmm. And it's custom, and like I have a whole page about pre-orders on my website about why we can't do pre-orders. And I got a nasty email once. I don't know if it was even, I don't know. I have no sense of time. So like, it could have been last week. It could have been 2 years ago. I have no idea. And it was like, I just don't understand why you can't do pre-orders. That would make you so much more money. Live sales are so stupid. Like, and I was just like, and my response was, thank you for your feedback.
Right. I do that.
Like, there's just not anything, like, I'm not going to change that person's mind. I'm not, like, and it's okay to have that opinion. That is absolutely okay to have that opinion. I'm not upset about it at all. But I also realize that a lot of times when people come at you during, like, with that kind of like vitriol, it has
Mhm.
very little to do with what you sent.
Mhm.
And it's just a place for them to put their frustration that feels safe because you are anonymous.
Mhm.
Like it's just like, like keyboard warriors. And like a lot of times I've noticed that happens. And I'm like, this person is going through something and it is nothing to do with me. And even if that is not true, that is the truth that I am going to hold on to because it makes me feel better.
I had somebody recently reply to or leave a comment on one of my YouTube videos that has been out for years. And it's just a really good beginner video. So many positive comments on it, right?
Yeah.
This person wrote, "You're the absolute worst teacher ever. I can't see your stitches. You go too fast. You assume I know, blah, blah, blah. What are you even doing on YouTube?" I just was like, I think I replied back, wow, I really hope you find somebody who can help you learn to crochet. Thank you. Like, I was like, okay. Because I did not take it personally at all. Because I was like, you just don't know. You just don't know what you're doing. There's nothing I can do at that point.
Right.
If I'm not speaking words that you clearly understand, because sometimes we've talked about this, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times of you hearing the same exact thing before all of a sudden your brain's like, and hopefully I'm that 6th, 7th, or 8th person who's telling you and you get that aha moment and you think it's all me. Like, yeah, I totally, but sometimes I'm the first person and you just don't get it, So I will sometimes tell people in beginner classes, I'm like, look, you might not get this at all in the first week or two. You practice, you do little things, and then you're going to see, you'll come back to this video and all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I get this. Like, it just takes a time to learn. Right. But I will be honest, there are other times people will leave nasty comments, and we've talked about this before, but, this one woman left such a nasty comment, and she kept saying, kept typing your Y-O-U-R, and it was supposed to be Y-O-U. So my response was asterisk Y-O-U''re. That's all I wrote. So then she wrote me back this diatribe of how dare you correct my grammar, blah, blah, blah. And she misspelled it again, right? The whole thing. So the second comment was, again, asterisk, your. I'm like, I got nothing for you. And
like, look, also, as a person who was a school teacher, like I was a teacher, sometimes you need it explained a different way. And like, that's the beauty of learning in person versus learning on the internet. You can ask a question and get an immediate response. Hey, I don't understand this. Can you go over it again? And then I'll use different words because I'm not going to remember what I said 5 minutes ago. But on the internet, I don't understand that. And you rewind it, you get the same thing again. So like, it's just a matter of like, sometimes you just need somebody to explain it in a way that your brain gets it. And like, there's science behind that. So like, also like I can't help you. And that's not because I'm bad at my job or that you're bad at what you're trying to do. It's that it's new, and new is hard.
So I want to talk about this because in one of my groups that I'm in, like a private group, we're discussing this. I don't know all the details, so please forgive me if I get anything wrong.
I have not even heard about this, so I'm interested.
Okay, so essentially what happened, there's a designer who designed a blanket called the 6-Day Star Blanket. It's been out for several years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. But apparently there is somebody who's a newer person who went to make it and found that the pattern was hard to read. There were accessibility issues that she claims, like just a bunch of different things. And it just a lot of stuff, right? I'm not going to go into detail because I don't know the details. So I if you want to learn more, go learn it more. But essentially what it all boils down to, there's this one YouTuber who she was like, look, designers don't have to be your mom. And so the big discussion in my group was this: when you go to a bookstore and you buy a book and say that there's a missed comma or a misspelled word, you don't write that author and do this, oh, how dare you, I want my money back because this word is misspelled. But people will do that with patterns. You don't go buy a cookbook from Martha Stewart, make the meal, and it doesn't work. You don't call Martha Stewart, well, this didn't work. Clearly your cooking instructions are wrong. But they'll do that with designers. Or as a designer, I'm not selling you, I mean, this is just the honest truth. I'm not selling you my time and expertise of teaching you hand by hand, holding your hand through the whole thing, individually answering questions the whole time for the pattern. That's not my job. I did my job. I did the pattern, I did the chart, I did the video. You purchase the product. Now you have to learn how to do it. And the minute I ever say that out loud to somebody, hey, if I don't offer private lessons, you got to go get help. There are people who will just ridicule me, right? Because of that. So we're all walking this fine line of, at what point do you say enough is enough? I can't hold your hand through the whole thing. I've literally, like, that's the big thing with us, right? We try and give people as much as we possibly can in a pattern. I mean, we do our best, right? So that we can try and prevent having a lot of extra questions coming back. But I mean, there are times I get emails all the time. People are like, oh, this is a pullover. Can we make it a cardigan? And instead of drop sleeves, can we make it set in sleeves? And I'm like, sure, you can absolutely do that. That's a brand new design. You can do that. Well, why can't you just write that for me? Because that's not my job. That's not the pattern you paid for. No,
you bought a pattern that was a pullover with drop sleeves, and you want a cardigan with set-in sleeves. You bought the wrong pattern.
Right. So the whole idea here is that there's this big hubbubaloo about the 6-day star blanket, and I went and read the pattern. It's not a poorly written pattern.
I just pulled up I didn't know what it looked like, so I just wanted to see a picture.
It's a simple star blanket. It is not
really pretty though.
No,
like it's so pretty.
It is not that big of a deal. I mean, it's whatever. I guess there's the problem here is that there's somebody who, I think I'm understanding this right. I think there's somebody who decided to do a video or rewrite the pattern and called it the 6-day star blanket. So then that's interfering of copyrights. Then you go down a whole nother rabbit hole.
That's a different conversation.
Which then the people will then be like, well, how, I couldn't read her pattern. Why does she get so mad? Because that's her right. That's her stuff. Anyways, there's so much drama and so many expectations on designers that
you know what, Marla, though, it's not just. It's what I think is interesting is like you write essentially a set of instructions.
Yes.
Right. Like that's what you're doing. You're writing a set of instructions. Okay. There's a product. I stopped making it. Because I got so tired. And like, look, I want to tell you that I'm a person who, like, a lot of my ideas have come from customers. Hey, have you ever thought about doing a blank? That's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that. Like, so when I say that this is the thing that I kept hearing and like no one wanted to listen to me about the actual labor cost of this thing, like I stopped making it. So, and it really happens the most at like trade shows, like where someone is physically there, and they would never, ever, ever do it to a major designer.
No.
But like, here is a pattern. I figured out how to put all of these things together. You can close it. It's safe. It's secure. It's not going to snag your yarn. It's going to hold this thing. It's going to do this thing. It's a million different things. It's adjustable. It builds. It da 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 da. Right? It is engineered. I have to measure how far the top of something is from the bottom of the next thing to less than 1/8 of an inch to get it to work. It's engineering that I happen to sew. You know what would make this better? Nope.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Nope.
So Laura's just trying to clear. A person redid the 6-day star pattern and then gave it away. Probably called it the 6-day star pattern. Right. I mean, it's just a sticky mess. It's a sticky mess. But I love that there was this one YouTuber that was talking about it. And she's like, I might get canceled for saying this, but designers aren't your mom. They don't have to hold your hand.
Right.
You're going to get the pattern. You can read it or you can't read it. And I'm just going to be blunt. There's a lot of brand new designers out there who don't know how to write a pattern.
Right.
Like they don't know how to write it because they don't know how to read it. It is chicken scratch. It is terrible. And the hard part there is people are like, oh, but crafts need to evolve. And this is the way things are written now. I'm like, no, like you still write books the way you write books, do math the way, like it's all, there's standards to things. Now, why does this not have to be a standard?
Now, I will tell you, when it comes to sewing patterns, that is the opposite is true. So corporate sewing patterns like Simplicity, McCall's, Butterick, the ones that you used to go through those books of at the store with your mom, those I find to be very difficult to understand. And the way that now clothing patterns are written, because you can get them online, is much more intuitive for like the average user. I will say that about sewing patterns. But that is But that is because you also have to remember that when Butterick and McCall and all those companies were writing patterns, everyone sewed. Everyone knew what a seam allowance was. Everyone knew what type of needle to use on what type of fabric.
Mhm.
That is not the case now. So when I say it has evolved, it is because now we have, sewing machines are whole computer systems. So like it's a whole different thing. So I will say that a modern sewing pattern is for clothing is my preference, but that also doesn't mean that I don't still love a Butterick pattern. So I do.
So for me, it's little things. One, it is not a granny stitch cluster. It's not.
You
Those are
cannot say that
three-
where I do not finish what you were saying.
Those are 3 double crochets that are independent of each other. They are not a cluster. Everybody says a cluster. There are designers who say it's a cluster. It's not a cluster. You know why I'm going to die on this hill? Because there's actual cluster stitches that it's three stitches that are pulled together like this, and there's one at the it's just all one stitch. That's a cluster stitch. So I'm just like, why are you calling it that? That's not what it is, right? So there's like little things like that. Little things like when they misuse parentheses or brackets or stars, and they misuse how to write what's remaining, like what's the stitch count of that row. Or if you go to Amigurumi, it'll say like row 1, 2 SC3, blah, 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 1 increase in parentheses 7 times. And it's like, it is horse crap. It's horse crap. Like, it's just amazing to me. And I'm just like, okay, I guess there's a point where I feel like you should at least educate yourself to know how to write a pattern.
Look, that is, you know what? Look, that's a real fact, because people are always asking me like, "Oh, can I buy a pattern for your bag?" Like I want to make it myself.
Yeah.
I do not know how to write a pattern. I know how to make the bag.
Yeah.
I could write you a set of instructions. If you are a person who sews, you can probably follow those instructions. If you are not a person who sews, it will be Latin. I might as well be speaking Greek. Like it is not, I'm not a pattern writer. That's not
I couldn't
what I am.
understand what you were doing if you were to tell me, because I don't know jack crap about sewing.
Right. And like, look, I buy a lot of indie made, like independent bag designer patterns. Whether I ever make them or not, like I learn a lot from them. Like, oh, that's an interesting construction. I hadn't thought of doing it that way. Or like, oh, I'd never attached a handle that way. Like that's an interesting use of hardware, whatever the case may be. But like, I look at those patterns and they're selling them for like $6, $6. And it is like a fairly simple pattern. Okay. Like I did a book sleeve last year for Hinkmas with foam in it. I bought that pattern from a company. It's Corner Street Quilts, something Street Quilts. And she's got, her Instagram is, so good. And that's how I found it. It came across my Instagram feed and I was like, oh, I definitely want to go get that pattern. Went and bought the pattern. And it's beautifully done. It's wonderfully made. The pattern it's like a $37 page pattern with diagrams and technical drawings and photo tutorials. And she sells it for like $5. And I was like, absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not. Just the photo editing for this situation. No, no. Like, so like when people are like, because there's plenty of bags that I have made in the past that I'm never going to make again because they were not profitable for me as a business. But that doesn't mean I don't know how to make the bag, right? Like I could teach you to make the bag, but like, I'm not going to take that time. I'm just not.
Well, so here's my deal. So with these newer designers, a lot of them are amigurumi designers, and they really don't know how to write a pattern. They're writing the pattern the way they figure they should write a pattern, right? It's not the way you write a pattern historically. And yeah, they're going to say, oh, she's a Karen. Oh, she's this, that, and the other. She's just old. No, I just have a certain standard. Like if it's just the way it is, right? It's at the end of the day,
yeah,
don't steal from other designers. But that I want to take that one step further. Don't steal people's trademarks. How many amigurumi patterns out there have you seen of Stitch, of Bluey, of, you won't see Mickey very often, but you'll see like Dumbo or
Oh, so
The Grinch.
okay, so can
Those are
I
trademarked, and people they're like, "Oh, it's no big deal." It is a big deal. Those laws are on the books not only to protect the big companies, but to protect us. Don't do it. What are you doing?
So here's the thing that I think is really interesting. So in my world, custom fabric printing, and they're called seamless files. What I make, like when you print fabric, it has to be a seamless
Yes.
repeat. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The couple, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago, there was a company. I'm not going to say the name of the company because there's like a whole thing on the internet about it. I'm not going there.
Right.
But and she was a custom fabric company, right? She was doing, I would be surprised if she was doing less than $2 million a year in sales. I would be surprised. Okay.
Wow.
Now, let me tell you, her designs, adorable, great for adult clothes, great for kids' clothes. They were all Disney themed. They're all Disney themed. And when I say that she was importing fabric, like I actually found my fabric printer based on following her, not because she said who she uses, but because I figured it out. Okay. Or a company that's similar to the one she was using. She was importing pallets of fabric. Now you've seen how my fabric arrives. It is a 60-inch long roll of fabric. And typically I don't order enough for it to come on a pallet. Okay. She's ordering enough that it's delivered in multiple pallets. She's ordering it on multiple substrates. So like you can have it on Minky, you can have it on jersey, you can have it on swim, you can have it on cotton, you can have it on cotton linen, you can have it. So she has like 15 bases. Okay. And like the pre-order is insane. Okay. You fill out a spreadsheet, you PayPal her. It's like this very convoluted buying process. I never figured it out. And then you wait 12, 24 weeks before they arrives because of the quantity she's ordering.
Got it.
Right. Everyone's super happy with the customer service. Everyone's super happy with the process. Very successful, doing amazing, right? Doing great. And she does panels. So like you can she has hoodie patterns that like go with her panels. They're super modern, cute, great for like Disney bounding, like so great.
I want a Disney bound with John, but he refuses.
She imported, I would guess in the ballpark, I don't know, I would guess probably 60,000 yards. I would guess.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It got caught at customs and cut open, and they destroyed it all.
Oh no.
Because it was a trademark violation.
Right.
Yep. And so everyone who ordered things just didn't get their stuff. Now, and like, I will be perfectly honest with you, there's plenty of custom fabric companies who are still doing Disney themes, but they all do ears, right? Which honestly,
became okay.
Yes, because they can't trademark ears because it's 2 circles. Like they lost that in court. Disney lost it big time. But the other thing that I think is really interesting is that Etsy has changed its terms of use. And so I'm in a group for people who create seamless files. And I'm going to be really honest. I'm just kind of a lurker. Terrible. Okay. I'm just kind of a lurker. And it's not because I think they're doing anything wrong or they're bad people. It's because here's a place for me. And it's not, they do mostly characters. And that's not normally what I like. Most of my fabrics are not characters. Most of my fabrics are geometrics, florals, something in that line. But I get a lot of ideas, like color ideas or, like background ideas, like, oh, how did she get this watercolor look? Or like, oh, a star is cute. Like, so I'm in there for a lot of like ideas. That's why I'm in there. But I don't really comment because I'm not contributing to I'm not contributing here, right? Because I don't do what a lot of these people are doing, like they'll sublimate like tumblers or mugs or shirts. Like that's what they're doing. So they need a seamless pattern to do that kind of thing. They're not printing fabric. That's not their thing. Well, there's this huge scuttlebutt in that group right now because someone was like, oh, I just got my entire shop taken down from Etsy and they're keeping my last however much money because I use character prints. And that's unfair. And like everyone in the comments was like, no, that's trademarked. You can't do that.
Yep.
And her question was like, where can I go where I can do this without getting shut down? And of course, everyone's response was Shopify, because it is very easy to set up a Shopify store. It's very, you can do it on your phone. Very easy to do. It's fairly inexpensive if you want to start out. It's great. It makes it very easy to enter the marketplace, which is wonderful. But everyone was like, but Shopify will shut you down for that too. Well, apparently Etsy is now going through and crawling everybody's. Like, they have an AI that's crawling. And if you have a character thing and it is not trademarked, they are pulling it down and they are fining you, or they're shutting your shop down. Like,
They
fully.
even search your keywords.
Yeah.
Like, if I had something, maybe I did something that was Barbie oriented.
Right.
If I use the keyword Barbie,
yep,
I'm in trouble.
gone. Yeah.
Can't use Taylor Swift. Can't use any of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, and that's the thing. I mean, like, I understand. I get it. But like, and like, look, I love Bluey. I think.
Oh,
Bluey-
yeah. I'm not saying these characters that people are designing aren't cute. They're adorable. Absolutely adorable. That's why everybody wants them. It's just that they're trademarked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've seen a baby Groot. I've seen so many different things. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
to me, that just makes me lose. I'm just gonna be honest. It makes me lose respect for the designer if they know and are still willingly doing it.
Right.
Because I will give you grace if you don't know. I think everybody should get grace for you. I mean, you don't know
You gotta
till you
learn.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if you know and you still willingly do it, I lose respect for you. Absolutely do. Not that it matters to people, because, I'm such a Karen. She wants patterns to be written a certain way. I sure do. I feel like it makes it easier for the crocheter to have a consistency across the board of patterns.
I mean, for knitting too. I mean, like, I
That's
need it.
the way it should be.
Yeah. Like, because look, the way my aunt taught me to knit, literally, she said, if you don't know what you're doing, follow blindly. Do
Mhm.
not question, just do what it says. And you know what? I've taught myself many a thing because I just followed blindly. Like, for instance, did you know that I taught myself entrelac out of your book and I had no idea that I did that?
Do you know I learned entrelac because I didn't know how to do it and I just followed blindly?
I just followed blindly, and someone was like, but I think what was so funny about that is that early on when I met you, you're like, oh, I'm going to go I'm going to go teach an entrelac class. And I said, why? And you go, oh, it's hard. And then I was like, it is?
Yeah.
Like, I remember standing in my booth at some show, having that conversation with you. And she's like, yeah, people think it's hard. And
Yeah,
I was like,
people think
follow
it's hard.
blindly.
Yep. And that's
That is
the first
literally
thing I
the
say.
answer that I have when I don't know what I'm doing is follow blindly.
Because that's usually what happens. People, and the same thing with corner to corner or crochet entrelac, because they'll read the instructions and then they try and piece it in their mind what they're doing, which I get. I do that too. But at some point when it's doing something that you've probably never done before, just do what it's literally telling you to do. Do what it's telling you to do, and it will work out. Now, there are going to be those circumstances where the designer just F's up. And it's just, it's just an
You're
F
human.
up, and you're like,
you're human.
Yeah. But
the other thing that has served me more than I can express.
Oh, yes.
It's
still hard to pick up stitches. I struggle with it. If I drop something in brioche, I'm like, well, I guess I'm done with this. I know how to do it. It's just so hard to me. I struggle with it.
So one thing that I will say that people always skip this step, and they should not, is before you start, read all the way through it first.
All the way through.
Read all the way through it first one time.
Yep.
Even if you don't understand it, read all the way through it one time before you start.
Yep.
Because I have made many a bag prototype where I'm like, why doesn't this work? Because I didn't read it all the way through.
Yep.
So yes, I
would absolutely agree with this, Michelle.
I agree.
If getting a license to work trademark stuff was not so expensive,
I agree.
It would be so much better. Like, honestly, like I said, these amigurumi pieces people are making, they're adorable.
Honestly, they are missing out on so much money. If they would just give the trademark, yes.
Yep. These companies should absolutely work with these people who
Independent
are very
makers.
Talented. Absolutely. Without a doubt, 100% agree with you.
100% agree.
100% agree.
It should not be $25,000 a week to produce to have a pattern with that's a crochet Bluey.
Right. Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's tough. All of it's tough.
Yeah.
And
no,
I mean
100%.
anyways, that's it. So yeah, that's the scuttlebutt right now. But the big thing is, at what point is a designer responsible for helping you or holding your hand? Or I think one of the original person who was complaining about the pattern, I think she was complaining because there were ads on the website. It's a free pattern. And I was like, it's a free pattern. Like, how do you want that designer to get paid? Buy the pattern. If you don't want ads, buy the pattern. Did she have it available for? Yeah, you could buy it. Buy the pattern.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a crazy world out there, but I also feel like because we are a female dominant industry, that females historically, in my experience, are harder on females and are judgier in the sense of, well, she should be able to do that. It's just not the same when it's some to men.
Do you know what I think is really interesting?
What?
This is the thing that I noticed in my teaching career. No one, so we had a mini school concept. So like these 5 teachers all have the same kids. And then down the hall, there's another group of 5 teachers and they all have the same kids. Okay. That's the mini school concept. There was one male teacher in each mini school. Both taught history.
Okay.
Ironically, that's not always the case. Just happened to be the way it worked out on our hallway. One coached, one did not. Okay. And never in the history, I worked with the coach. Okay. I want to be very clear. Love that guy. Think he's a great guy. Taught his son. Son's a great human being. Have no complaints. Okay. Great people. If I needed a day off, well, are you sure you can't come in? If he needed a day off, absolutely take what you need. Now, here's the thing. I will be perfectly honest. I think I worked with him, I think, for 6 years before he moved to the high school. And I think he missed 2 days total. And it was because his son, or 3 days, because his son was on OSS and he should have been. And he was home with his son, making sure his son felt the full brunt force of his choices.
Got it.
Well, I get it. But also I've noticed that in teaching, I think one of the reasons why teaching is so underpaid and underappreciated is because now it is a female dominated industry. Because I can tell you when, like, if I had to leave early for anything, like whatever the emergency was, it was always like a huge to do. And I was brought up in my like evaluations. And I mentioned that once to the male teacher that I worked with. And he goes, I leave early all the time for sporting events. They don't care. And I was like, I know. And he goes, like, one of the times, like, I had a family member in the hospital. And I think I left 30 minutes early. Like, it wasn't significant.
Yeah.
No more so than if he had to leave early to get to a game that was far away.
Right.
And I did the same thing he did. I divided my kids among my team members with something to do, and I left. Like, there was no substitute called, none of that. And I remember saying that to him. I was like, well, they brought that up. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I left early. And he goes, okay. And I said, well, isn't that part of your evaluation? And he said, no.
I worked, I worked at a location where I worked really close with my boss. I think the guy's wonderful. In no way did he mean this to be mean or disparaging, but he was very honest about it. I had PTO time, right?
Yeah.
And so when the kids were sick, I would use a day off or whatnot, right? And I had used almost all my time off one day, and we were talking, and he made the comment, like, Facebook must not be working. Like, it says
I don't see any comments from Facebook.
Yeah, it says that they're having trouble streaming to Facebook. There may be an issue on Facebook's end.
Okay.
So anyways, Facebook. All right. So we're having this discussion. I had missed a couple days because one of the kids was sick.
Yeah.
He goes, well, can't John stay home with the kids? And I said, well, he could, but I'm the one with the PTO, so I took it off. He goes, oh, I guess that's just part of what I get for hiring a young mom. And he didn't mean it mean. I know he didn't mean it mean.
No.
But
like, when you
heard himself say it, he was like he heard himself. It was very much, well, I guess that's because women just,
Yeah.
I don't know. And it just has stuck with me, things like that. And the same deal, like what we were talking about the other day about our husbands doing all this stuff. And instantly, So how many of you are like, wow, they really should keep their part or do this, whatever. But the minute you think about it switched, if a man and a woman was doing all the things, you would not think twice about it.
You wouldn't think that the man needs
You
to pick
wouldn't.
up
Nope.
anything.
Nope.
And
You
like,
wouldn't think twice. Yep. It's society. And it's all about, we've all been conditioned or trained to think one way as you grow up, and as you grow up and you learn and you evolve and you change, like you become different. But
well, I'll also say this, like, I know there's a lot of talk about like toxic masculinity, and that is a thing. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Yes, it exists. But here's the thing. There's also something that's toxic femininity, because women are so conditioned to not let go and not ask for help that even if you have a partner who wants to take something off your plate, you can't let it go.
right.
And that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh yeah.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying like it is a societal conditioning, pressure, something. It's not one side or the other. Like it was very hard for me to let go of like the house, like, because of course I have to take care of the house. And Dave was like, you can't do this. Let it go.
Yeah.
Like it was plenty of arguments about it. And he's like, will you just trust that I'm a grown adult that can handle this? And I was like, right. Yes.
I think the big things now for me is like, if let's pick Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving meal. I'm the one making all the food for Thanksgiving, right? I want to make all the things that I want to make.
Yeah.
And I'm making myself crazy trying to make all the things. And John just will look at me. He goes, we're not making that today. And I'm like, we got it. He's like, no, you have more than enough.
Yeah.
We're not making this today. We're not. And it's like, he just has to be like, stop. Like, let's think what we have here. You don't have to drive yourself crazy to meet this standard over here that you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's these fake. I saw a woman who, I think it was like I think I read it on the internet somewhere, and she was like, she was in therapy for whatever reason, or just she goes to therapy, and her therapist was like, well, how are you doing? And she's like, well, and she's like, no, like, this is an honest question. How are you doing? And she's like, well, like, I need to do the dishes and they're piling up, but like, I just don't have the energy to do the dishes, and they pile up, and then I feel worse about it because like, right. And like this list of things. And her therapist looked at her and goes, put them in the dishwasher. She's like, but I can't. She goes, why? She's like, well, I already ran the dishwasher. Okay. Empty the dishwasher, load it again, run the dishwasher. She's like, well, it's pots and pans. Do they fit in your dishwasher? Yes. Run the dishwasher. And it's like, we make these rules in our head about like, it's just a rule in your head. Like, some days it's too much to stand up in the shower. You can sit down in the shower.
Yeah. So it's executive functioning too. Sometimes you just
it's just these made up rules about like, and like, I talk about it in planner, like when I talk about, because people are so worried about like making their planner like wrong. Right. Like I talk about it because I'm like, it's just paper.
Good yarn. I'm going to hurt.
Right. Your good yarn. Right.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, and I remember reading that and being like, there are no rules. Like these are all, there's no rules. Like this is all, I'm an adult. I can make this decision for myself.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And like that, like sometimes it's just too much to stand up in the shower. You can sit down in the shower, run the dishwasher 3 times. Great.
Yep.
Great. You ran the dishwasher 3 times. Is your kitchen clean? Great.
Can I just tell you that when my income changed a couple years ago, we had to cut the house cleaner.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how hard that has been on me? Because having somebody come and clean my house once every 2 weeks was such like this
a mental.
It was a mental thing for me. Like I wish I could write it off for like mental health, because I really wish I could afford it still, because it's so nice to smell Pine Sol. I love the smell of Pine Sol. I love walking into a bathroom and smelling Pine Sol and Tilex. I know that sounds ridiculous. I love getting in clean sheets. I love when there are lines in the carpet. Like,
there's nothing better than clean sheets.
Clean sheets are the best.
Look, if I was okay, you know how a couple days ago we were like, even if I won the lottery, like I'd still do this.
There'd be signs.
So there'd be signs. You know what the sign would be? I would have a set of clean sheets. Someone would put clean sheets on my bed every day.
Yes.
Every day. You know what else? I would never have a crispy sock. I would only have new socks.
Oh, I could
do socks are a decadence. Those are decadent.
I have a basket of socks that I have had probably for 20 years. Like it's random socks. They're all over
I
the
get
place.
it.
And a big part is because John does the laundry, but then he doesn't pair up the socks. He just is like, wants to throw them in. It's one of those things I can't think about it. Otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. Right.
Right.
He has to do it however he has to do it. He's always wanting to throw away this basket of socks and I can't let it go. And I'm this close to just be like, just let them go. Just put them
Let it
all
go.
in a bag and just give them away and just go buy some new socks. Just go buy some new socks.
Yeah.
And I can't even begin to tell you how hard this is for you guys. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It's at least 20, 21 years old. Like this basket, and it has, you know, rotated through the years because I'll sit down and I'll pair up a whole bunch of socks and then all of a sudden it gets all big full. Oh my gosh.
David, it's not clean socks. It's new socks.
New socks.
Remember in Finding Forrester where he talks about new socks? It's new socks. It's not clean socks. All of my socks are clean. Of course they are. But like new socks.
Did you ever wear the sock like back in the day, the Gap socks, the Gap crew socks? They were the best.
So
socks.
good.
They were so good. And they had all the colors.
All the colors.
They stayed up. Like they were the best socks. Those were so, I don't know why that just popped in my head. They were so good. They were so good.
Yeah,
I don't know. So anyways, yeah, I wish I had a cleaning lady. Maybe if my life turns around and business picks up and I can afford it, the first thing I would do, I would even just get a cleaning lady for my first level, like my first level and my bathroom and my bedroom. Like I don't have to care. I don't care about everybody else's. That's what I want. I clean my bathroom down here all the time myself, you know, because I like the way it smells when it's clean. But there's something about taking that time to do the rest of the house. I just don't have that time. I just don't have that time.
Now I will say that like Dave has asthma, so our bathroom has terrible ventilation in it, like our master bathroom. So like it makes Dave wheezy to clean our bathroom.
Oh.
However, I recently learned, thank you, Clean Talk, Insta Clean Degram, whatever. So we have a glass shower door, which I loathe.
Yeah.
I loathe it with a
I
fiery
have a glass
passion.
window.
I hate it. The soap scum. Also, I've told you we have really, really hard water. So it doesn't even if there wasn't soap scum, it would have calcium buildup. It's awful. I hate it.
I'm going to tell you what I do for that.
No. I do it too.
Okay.
I have scrubbed that with every cleanser. You know what? I was like, what do I have in this house that can get this off? Because it's just not coming. Like in the bottom corner where like all the water hits, it's just like, you can scrape it. You need a scraper, right? I'm just past it, right? So I TikTok, Google, whatever. Baking soda with a little bit of water. So it's like a paste and a scrub daddy. Right off.
Really?
It was, and when I say it was crystal clear, are you ready for this? How do you clean it off? Get a microfiber cloth and just wipe.
Okay. So I'm going to show you, we use the Rain-X shower door extreme clean.
Yeah.
And we have a loofah that is just for, hold on, it's John. Hold on a second. Hey, I'm on a live. Can I call you back? All right. Love you. Bye. We have a loofah that's just for cleaning that. Like we have a really big shower. Yeah. And so I will get the loofah wet, pour the Rain-X stuff on it and go in like wax on, wax off, go in circles, right? All the way across the thing. And then I rinse the loofah and do the loofah all the way across. And then we have a squeegee thing. And we do that like once every 2 weeks, I think. And that keeps our stuff super clean.
We have Rain-X for the shower door, but it gives me a migraine if I apply it.
Oh.
And so since the ventilation in our bathroom is so terrible, I'm typically the person who cleans our bathroom because it makes Dave's asthma kick up. And like the last thing we need is another trip to the emergency room. Like we done with that. We check that off our bingo card.
Yeah.
And so I'm the one who cleans the bathroom. It takes no time. Our bathroom's teeny. Like it takes no time, but it's just one of those things like out of sight, out of mind. I'm like, and then I get up and shower. I'm like, I didn't clean the bathroom.
Yeah. We have looks like has a long handle and a scrubber, like a really tough scrubber that we keep in the shower to scrub our tile in the shower. And we will do it like every other shower that we're in there. We'll just scrub it all
I just don't. We don't.
Just because all of our tile's white and our grout is white, and I'm like, I don't
White grout shouldn't be allowed.
I don't understand it. I hate my white cabinets in my kitchen.
I know
hate
you
my
do.
white grout. I hate my cabinets. I hate them. I hate them. I
I
hate
know
them.
you do.
But anyways, all right.
I know.
Well, we have run the gamut on discussion today.
It's been a day.
I have got to go film this next video before I have to go to track tonight. So, because I'll probably get the video done right before I have to leave for track. So I've got to go and get this done to make the people happy. But if you guys don't mind, please don't forget to smash that like button. Leave a comment below. Let us know, like, what do you use when you clean? You know, what are some things that you've cleaned? And what else did we talk about today? I don't even know. Whatever you want to leave a comment for, leave us a comment. We love reading your comments when they're nice. Otherwise, it'll be thank you for your comment. Thank you for the feedback. And if one of you smartasses out there gives me a shitty comment, and I just so that I can reply, thank you for the feedback, I'll know who you are. No,
well, because like, you're not changing that person's mind.
I know, but I could totally see Sandy doing that. Sandy would totally be like, well, Marley, this could have been better if or Linda or Rhonda would do that. Like, oh my gosh. Anyways, okay. We will be back tomorrow with 2 new patterns. Don't miss those blanket patterns today. Free blanket patterns. You might not make them now, but you never know. You might make them at some point in time. They're really great for scraps, which is awesome. I think that's it, y'all. Don't forget the flash sale. What was the flash sale?
Dice bags.
It's
the thing that you always put all your chargers in when you travel.
Yeah, I use sock bags. I don't use dice bags. I have dice bags for my
Oh no. It was dice bags that I made for the boys years ago for when y'all went somewhere.
Yeah. But I use my dice bag for my chapstick and a Kleenex and wipes and hand sanitizer. So that way
if go bag.
Yeah. So I could just take it. I can because I just take it.
The carabiner.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever that's called. All right. Enjoy the thing. All right, everybody. That's it from us. We will see you tomorrow where it will be day 12. We're halfway done. Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like this has been the most real of all of the chats we've ever had. Not to like this particular, like this year. This year.
Yeah. I mean, like
year's discussion has just been, it's literally, you guys are like just flying on the wall. Because this is how we talk.
We're really this is just Marley and I having a conversation. You just happen to be here.
Yeah. So glad you're here, everybody. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.